Stop scrolling. Stop everything you are doing right now. My beloved child, pause for just one moment and listen to me, because this is not just another message passing before your eyes. This is not coincidence. This is not random chance that brought these words to you at this exact second. Heaven has chosen this precise moment to reach you. And what I am about to tell you will answer the question your heart has been whispering in the dark when no one else could hear. I pulled you here with purpose, because I saw what you have been hiding. I saw what you covered behind your tired smiles, behind your polite answers when someone asks if you are okay, and you say yes even though your heart is breaking. I saw what you buried beneath your silence because the weight felt too heavy to explain to anyone who has not carried what you carry. Do not turn away from these words. Do not tell yourself this is for someone else. This is your divine appointment, and if you walk away now, you will miss what I prepared specifically for you in this moment. This is urgent. This is serious, and this is the last time I will interrupt your day in exactly this way before something shifts forever. I have seen the nights when you cried into your pillow and whispered questions you were afraid to say out loud. I watched when you sat alone in the dark, surrounded by the noise of your phone, scrolling through images of others who seemed happy and connected while you felt completely invisible. I felt your loneliness even when you were surrounded by people, because the deepest loneliness is not about being alone in a room, but being alone inside yourself while the world moves around you. I heard the question that has been growing louder in your spirit, the one you tried to push down because it felt wrong to even think it. Does anyone truly love me anymore? Does anyone see me beyond what I can do for them? Does anyone care about the person I am when all my usefulness is stripped away? My child, I heard that question. I felt the weight of it pressing against your heart, and I am here now to answer it with the full authority of heaven. I, the Lord your God, who formed you before the foundation of the world, who knit you together in your mother's womb, who knows every hair on your head and every thought before you think it. I am telling you now that you are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not unloved. And what you are about to hear will transform how you see everything that has happened to you recently. This moment is being recorded in eternity. Angels are present right now, watching as heaven speaks directly into your hidden pain. What happens in the next few minutes will explain why everything has felt heavier lately, why small things suddenly became overwhelming, why your strength that once felt steady has turned into quiet survival mode. Do not ignore what I am about to reveal to you. I have seen you, my beloved child. I have seen you in ways no one else has. I watched the exact moment when your strength changed from steady endurance into something close to collapse. Even though outwardly you kept moving, kept speaking, kept doing what everyone expected. Others saw you continue, but I saw what your spirit was whispering beneath every step you took. I saw when you woke up and the first feeling was dread, not hope. I watched you open your eyes each morning and feel the weight settle on your chest before you even remembered what day it was. I saw when you had to force yourself through ordinary moments that used to feel natural, when simple tasks required enormous effort, when getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain. I saw when you smiled for others while your heart was breaking inside, when you gave to everyone else while you yourself were completely empty, when you stood strong for the people around you while you crumbled in private where no one could see. I watched you attend gatherings and laugh at the right moments while inwardly you felt like a stranger in your own life. I saw you answer questions about how you were doing with practiced responses that revealed nothing of what was truly happening inside you. I have seen the mask you wear, my child. I watched you perfect the art of appearing fine when you were falling apart. I saw how exhausting it became to maintain that facade, how draining it was to constantly monitor your face, your voice, your words to make sure nothing slipped through that would reveal your true condition. I felt your loneliness grow deeper precisely because you could not be authentic with anyone, because you feared what they would think if they saw the real depth of your struggle. I watched you scroll through your phone at 2 in the morning because sleep would not come. I saw you read the same sentence 5 times because your mind was too crowded with anxiety to focus. I felt your chest tighten when notifications came from people you were not ready to face. I heard your sigh when you had to respond to messages that required energy you did not have. I have seen your tears, my beloved. I collected every one of them. The tears you cried in the shower where no one could hear you. The tears that came without warning while you were driving alone. The tears you choked back during conversations because crying felt weak. The tears you released finally when you thought everyone was asleep. Every single tear has been gathered and treasured by me because each one represents a piece of pain you could barely carry. I watched you try to appear okay when you were drowning. I felt your exhaustion go deeper than physical tiredness, down into that place where your soul itself felt worn thin. I heard the silent sentence you never spoke aloud, the one you buried because you feared even hearing yourself say it. The sentence that whispered, maybe I cannot do this anymore. Maybe I have nothing left to give. Maybe I am too tired to even care. You never needed to speak it loudly for me to hear it, because even the parts of you that you hide from yourself are completely visible before me. Nothing in you is hidden from my sight, and that is precisely why I came close now, because I knew this was not the kind of tiredness that sleep alone can heal. This was soul fatigue, spirit exhaustion, the weariness that comes from carrying invisible burdens that no one else fully understands. I have seen your hidden battles, my child. I watched you fight wars that no one applauded because they happened entirely inside you. I saw you battle anxiety that squeezed your chest in the middle of ordinary days. I felt your panic when fear rose up without warning, and you had to pretend everything was fine while your heart was racing. I watched the anxiety attack that came while you were in a meeting, and I saw how you focused on your breathing, on staying calm, on not letting anyone see that you were struggling. I felt your shame afterward when you wondered what was wrong with you. I heard you tell yourself you were weak, defective, too sensitive, broken beyond repair. I knew about the nights when you lay awake replaying conversations, analyzing every word, wondering what you did wrong, questioning whether people truly valued you or simply tolerated you. I watched your mind spiral through scenarios, imagining rejection, expecting abandonment. I heard you ask yourself why you were never enough, why others seemed to move forward easily while you struggled with every step. I saw your overthinking become exhausting. I watched you second-guess decisions you had already made. I felt your paralysis when you could not choose because every option seemed wrong. I knew about the opportunities you missed because fear of failure was louder than hope of success. I saw your disappointment when prayers seemed to go unanswered. I felt your confusion when you did everything right, but still faced hardship. I watched you wonder if I had forgotten your name, if your cries had somehow gotten lost on the way to heaven, if maybe you had done something that made me turn my face away from you. That doubt cut deep, did it not? The thought that perhaps even God had stopped loving you. I heard the accusations you believed from the enemy. I listened when he whispered that you were too broken for me to use, too damaged for me to love, too far gone for me to reach. I watched you agree with those lies because they matched what you felt about yourself. I saw how those words became chains that kept you from reaching toward me even when I was standing right beside you with arms wide open. I watched you scroll through social media and see everyone else blessed, everyone else celebrating, everyone else moving into their promises while you remained stuck in the same tired circumstances. I felt your jealousy even though you tried to suppress it, your bitterness even though you felt guilty for feeling it, your anger even though you could not explain where it came from. I saw you compare your behind-the-scenes struggle with their highlight reels and conclude that something must be wrong with you because your life did not look like theirs. I knew about the envy you felt when others received what you had been praying for. I watched you try to be happy for them while your heart was breaking because you wondered why them, and not you. Why their prayers were answered quickly while yours seemed to hit a ceiling. I felt your shame for feeling this way because you knew you should be more mature, more spiritual, more content. But the raw honesty was that you were tired of waiting, and tired of watching everyone else get their breakthrough while you remained in your wilderness. I saw when betrayal shattered your trust. I witnessed the moment when someone you loved walked away, when words you never expected to hear came from a mouth you thought would always speak kindness to you. I felt how their rejection made you question your worth, how their leaving made you wonder what was wrong with you, how their silence made you feel disposable. I watched you read their final message over and over, trying to understand what you had done to deserve this kind of abandonment. I saw the friendship that ended without explanation. I watched you reach out, trying to restore connection only to be met with cold distance. I felt your confusion when someone who once knew everything about you suddenly treated you like a stranger. I heard you blame yourself even though you did nothing wrong. Heard you wonder what you could have done differently. Heard you conclude that maybe you were just too much or not enough, or fundamentally unlovable. I watched you try to forgive when forgiveness felt impossible. I saw you wrestle with resentment that kept coming back no matter how many times you tried to release it. I knew about the wounds you thought had healed until something small reopened them, and all the pain rushed back like it never left. I watched you carry grudges you did not want to carry, bitterness you hated having, anger you knew was poisoning you but you could not seem to let go of. I have seen your financial stress, my child. I watched you count and recount, trying to make numbers work that simply would not work. I felt your shame when you could not provide what you wanted to give. I heard your prayers whispered in desperation when bills arrived, and the bank account was empty. I knew the fear that gripped you when you wondered how you would make it through another month. I saw when you had to say no when you wanted to say yes. I watched you withdraw from activities because you could not afford them. I knew about the pride you swallowed when you had to ask for help, when you had to admit you were struggling, when you had to depend on others when you desperately wanted to be independent. I heard you question whether my promises of provision were meant for everyone except you. I have watched your health concerns consume your thoughts. I saw you search symptoms online in the middle of the night, convincing yourself of worst-case scenarios. I felt your fear when your body did not work the way it used to, when pain became constant, when exhaustion never lifted no matter how much you rested. I heard you beg me for healing, for relief, for just one day without suffering. I watched you grieve losses that others minimized. I felt your sorrow when dreams died, when relationships ended, when seasons closed that you were not ready to leave behind. I knew about the grief you carried silently because everyone else had moved on and you felt like you should too. But your heart was still broken and no one seemed to notice or care. My beloved child, I have seen every single moment of your suffering. I have collected every tear you cried. I have heard every prayer you prayed, whether you spoke it in clear words or simply breathed it as a desperate sigh. Nothing about your hidden struggle has escaped me, and that is why I refuse to let you believe that you are unloved, that you are forgotten, that you are alone. But now, my child, I need you to hear the divine reversal. I need you to understand what was truly happening during every moment you thought I had abandoned you. What you perceived as my silence was actually my most active work. While you thought I had walked away, I was rearranging circumstances you could not see. I was closing doors that would have led you to harm. I was delaying answers because you were not yet ready to carry the blessing I had prepared. Let me tell you what was really happening when you felt most alone. While you saw silence, I saw strategy. While you experienced delay, I orchestrated divine timing. While you felt abandoned, I was positioned closer than I had ever been, absorbing impacts that would have destroyed you if they had reached you directly. Every moment you felt alone was a moment I was preparing you for what you could not yet imagine. The isolation you endured was not punishment. It was protection. I removed certain people from your life not because I was cruel, but because they would have destroyed the calling I placed on you. I saw what they would have taken from you, how they would have dimmed your light, how they would have pulled you away from the path I set before you. Those relationships that ended painfully, I ended them mercifully. I saw the toxicity that was hidden beneath the surface. I knew the damage that would have been done if I had allowed those connections to continue. I watched you grieve the loss, but I was simultaneously shielding you from devastation you never saw coming. The person who walked away would have eventually betrayed you far worse. The door that closed in your face was protecting you from a trap you could not detect. I allowed doors to close not because I was withholding from you, but because what was behind those doors would have derailed your destiny. That job you did not get would have placed you under a leader who would have crushed your spirit. That opportunity you missed would have taken you to a location where danger awaited. That relationship you thought was your future would have ended in heartbreak far deeper than what you experienced when it ended early. The delay you experienced was not denial. It was divine timing aligning everything perfectly. While you were waiting in frustration, I was moving pieces into position that had to be in place before your breakthrough could come. The person you would meet, the opportunity that would open, the provision that would arrive, all of these required perfect timing. And my timing is always perfect, even when it feels painfully slow to you. I delayed your promotion because the company you were working for was about to face crisis, and I needed to move you before you got caught in it. I withheld the relationship because both you and the person I had for you needed more time to heal from past wounds before you could build something healthy together. I paused the financial breakthrough because you needed to learn dependence on me first, or else money would have become your god instead of a tool in my hands. While you were sitting in what felt like stagnation, I was developing character in you that you would need for where I am taking you next. The wilderness was not wasted time. It was training ground. The desert was not punishment. It was preparation. The valley was not abandonment. It was transformation. In that place where nothing seemed to be happening on the surface, deep work was being done in your foundation, in your roots, in the unseen places that would determine whether you could sustain the weight of the blessing I was preparing to release. I was teaching you perseverance when you wanted to quit. I was building patience when you demanded immediate results. I was developing faith when circumstances screamed that nothing was working. I was forming resilience in you through repeated pressures that would have broken someone who had not been strengthened by what you endured. The very struggles you resented were sculpting you into someone capable of carrying what I always intended to give you. The silence you interpreted as absence was actually my nearness in disguise. I was closest to you during the moments you felt most alone, when you thought I had stopped listening. I was absorbing burdens you never saw so they would not crush you completely. There were attacks aimed at you that never reached you because I intercepted them. There were disasters that almost happened but did not because my protection surrounded you. There were breaking points you almost reached but never crossed, because unseen grace held you back from the edge. When you thought I had abandoned you, I was holding together parts of your spirit that were close to breaking. I caught you in moments when you did not even realize you were falling. I steadied you when you did not recognize your own instability. I carried you through valleys so dark that if you had known how close you came to complete collapse, you would understand that the only reason you survived was because I never let go. The pain you endured was not meaningless, it was purposeful. Every difficult season refined something in you that could not have been refined any other way. Comfort does not build character. Easy paths do not develop endurance. Smooth sailing does not teach you how to navigate storms. The very hardships you wished you could avoid were the exact experiences I allowed, because I loved you too much to leave you unchanged. Every closed door taught you discernment. You learned to recognize red flags you would have missed before. You developed wisdom about people, situations, and opportunities that only comes through experience. You can now see things others miss because pain sharpened your perception in ways ease never could. Every betrayal showed you who your true friends were. It exposed relationships that were circumstantial and revealed the ones that were covenantal. It taught you the difference between people who are with you for what you can give them and people who love you for who you are. The painful pruning removed surface-level connections to make room for deep, authentic relationships that would sustain you through your next season. Every financial struggle taught you to depend on me rather than your own ability to provide. It broke the pride that wanted to be self-sufficient. It humbled the part of you that wanted to say I did this myself, instead of acknowledging that every good gift comes from me. It positioned you to receive supernatural provision that defies natural explanation because you learned that I am your source. Not your job, not your savings account, not your investments. Every unanswered prayer taught you to trust my timing instead of demanding your own. It developed patience that does not just wait but waits with hope. It cultivated faith that believes even when circumstances suggest otherwise. It trained you to rest in my sovereignty instead of striving in your own understanding. My child, you questioned whether anyone loved you anymore. But the truth is that I never stopped loving you for even 1 second. My love for you is not based on what you do. It is not conditional on your performance. It is not withdrawn when you fail or doubt or struggle. My love for you is constant, unchanging, eternal, and completely unshakable. When everyone else walked away, I stayed. When you pushed me away in your anger and frustration, I remained close. When you stopped praying because you thought I was not listening, I heard every word your heart wanted to say but could not form. When you felt too broken to worship, I received your tears as worship. When you felt too weak to believe, I held your faith for you until you were strong enough to hold it again yourself. The question your heart has been asking is answered with an eternal yes. Yes, you are loved. Yes, you are seen. Yes, you are valued. Yes, you are valued. Yes, you matter. Yes, I am here. Yes, I am listening. Yes, I am moving on your behalf. Yes, breakthrough is coming. Yes, your pain has purpose. Yes, your waiting will end. Yes, restoration is real. Yes, you will make it through this. Right now, in this very moment, feel my presence surrounding you. I am not distant. I am not far away. I am not watching from heaven with disinterest. I am right here with you, closer than your own breath. My hand is reaching toward you, and I am asking you to reach back. Touch my hand in your spirit. Do not wait until you understand everything. Do not wait until your faith feels strong. Do not wait until you feel worthy. Reach toward me now, even if your reach is trembling, even if your faith is small, even if you are not sure this is real. Reach toward me because I am reaching toward you with the full power and love of heaven. Feel my warmth beginning to surround you. Feel the weight beginning to lift. Feel peace that you have not felt in weeks, months, maybe even years, starting to settle into places where anxiety has been living. Feel hope beginning to rise again in places where hopelessness had taken root. Feel strength returning to parts of your spirit that had become numb from exhaustion. I am not asking you to do this alone. I am not asking you to fix yourself. I am not asking you to become strong enough to handle everything before I will help you. I am doing this right now as you read these words. I am pouring healing into broken places. I am restoring what was stolen. I am rebuilding what was torn down. I am bringing back to life what felt dead inside you. You wondered if anyone loved you anymore. And I am answering that question with an eternal yes. I love you with an everlasting love. I love you with a love that will never fail, never fade, never end. I love you when you are strong and when you are weak. I love you when you are faithful and when you are doubting. I love you when you are victorious and when you are broken. My love for you is not dependent on your circumstances or your feelings. It simply is, and it always will be. The season of hidden suffering is ending today. The season of feeling forgotten is over. The season of questioning whether anyone cares is finished. I am declaring over you right now that you are entering a season of restored hope, renewed strength, and divine favor. What was delayed is now being released. What was closed is now opening. What was lost is now being restored. You are going to look back on this moment and recognize it as the turning point. You will see clearly how I used every painful season to position you for blessing. You will understand that I never stopped working on your behalf, even when you could not see any movement. Do not go back to believing the lie that you are unloved. Do not return to the thought that you are forgotten. Do not allow the enemy to whisper that you are alone. Those are lies. And I am speaking truth over you right now that shatters every lie that has tormented your mind. You are loved beyond measure. You are valued beyond your understanding. You are precious in my sight. You are chosen. You are called. You are equipped. You are empowered. You are never ever alone. As you step away from this moment, carry these truths with you. When doubt tries to return, remember what I spoke to you here. When loneliness tries to overwhelm you, remember that I am always with you. When fear tries to grip you, remember that perfect love casts out all fear, and my love for you is perfect. Go forward, my beloved child, with the absolute certainty that you are not alone, you are not forgotten, and you are deeply, eternally, completely loved. This is not just my message for you today. This is my declaration over your entire life. You are mine, and I am yours, and nothing will ever separate you from my love. Nothing in all creation, no power in heaven or earth, no circumstance, no pain, no failure, no rejection, no abandonment. Absolutely nothing can separate you from my love. Walk forward knowing you are held, knowing you are seen, knowing you are loved beyond your ability to comprehend. I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will never ever leave you. That is my promise to you, sealed with the blood of my Son, secured for all eternity. You are loved, my child. You are so deeply loved.